On the Duty of Civil Disobedience by Henry David Thoreau. This is Group 4. Some context behind it. Henry David Thoreau was an American naturalist, poet, and philosopher. Some of his notable works include the book Walden, which is a book about simple living in natural surroundings, and his essay on the duty of civil disobedience, which is arguing for resistance against the government not listening to its citizens. Thoreau was thoroughly outspoken against the U.S. in their invasion of Mexico during the Mexican-American War and the continuance of slavery. Thoreau was put in jail for refusing to pay a poll tax as a protest against the American government. Some of the messages behind on the duty of civil disobedience. Thoreau argues that we have a duty to resist slavery and war. He believed in the limited government since he started off his essay with stating that the best government is that which governs least. Thoreau stated that the masses serve the state with their bodies as machines, while politicians serve as the head, but are not likely to make any moral distinctions. Thoreau believes in in the man around him, but he does not trust the government. Types of philosophy covered. Thoreau's essay is a combination of political philosophy as well as ethics. It is seen as the motive of this essay because it challenges the established government as the morality of citizens. In the essay, Thoreau said, "The government is best which governs least." He also states, "A minority is powerless while it conforms to the majority." He believed the government had too much power, and the only way to correct the tyranny would be to protest.
Hi, my name is Julieta Chavez, and the essay that my group read was Civil Disobedience by Thoreau, and we're going to be talking about the philosopher Thoreau. Um, the segment that I cover is going to be terminology, other influences, and the analogies. Some of the terminology that we believed was needed to be known for the essay was poll tax, which was a tax levied on adults not based on income; moral tax, which is principle defining of the criteria of right action; civil law, which regulates non-criminal disputes and right of individuals; indemnity, which is the security or protection against a loss or other financial burdens; and unscrupulous, which is having or showing no moral principles. I believe these were important because it helps readers grasp Thoreau's uh, critique of the government authority and his advocacy for individual moral responsibilities. An analogy that Thoreau uses in this reading is the government as a machine comparison. It is basically saying that the government could work as productively as a machine, however, the act of injustice prevents the efficiency from reaching its full potential. And essentially, only through resistance can an individual stop the machine of injustice from running smoothly. Another analogy he uses is the reference to civil disobedience, such as protest, as a measure of a person's integrity. This means that when an individual or small group of people question the government, they also make others do the same. I feel like these analogies cover Thoreau's argument pretty well, essentially saying that individuals have moral responsibility to resist unjust laws, and that with this resistance, it will disrupt injustice and also promote moral awakening. So, some other influences. Thoreau wrote Civil Disobedience, while Paley, a common authority on moral questions, wrote Duty of Submissions to Civil Government, in which Paley argued that it is the best interest of the whole society that the government be obeyed. I also think that the civil rights movement and Martin Luther King was also influenced by Thoreau's essay, specifically talking about the concept of civil disobedience. King adopted Thoreau's idea that one has a moral duty to disobey unjust laws and argued that nonviolent direct action was necessary to bring about social change. I also think that many environmental and anti war movements were influenced by Thoreau's writing, specifically on his principle on individual moral responsibility and how impactful nonviolent resilience is.
Hello everyone, this is Mylene, and I'll be talking about relevance now. Thoreau's On the Duty of Civil Disobedience is relevant today for many reasons, including activism and social movements, government accountability, nonviolent resistance, and civil liberties. Thoreau's call for people to put moral responsibility in clear disagreement with unjust law is relevant to today's world, where there is resistance to injustice and immoral governance. His advocacy for human rights is a great example of how this is relevant today. A lot of modern examples are the Black Lives Matter movement, which focus on police brutality, racial profiling, and the excessive force that policemen would use to people of color or minorities. And then we also have abortion laws, which people argue with the right to govern a woman's body, and also the concept of religion potentially influencing that quote-unquote unjust law to influence the government. Next, we have our opinion. We believe that Thoreau's argument is strong. His essay isn't very much research-based as it is personal perspective-based. Thoreau makes this essay based on his experience, opinions, and ethical reasoning. Thoreau is arguing that people should resist a government that is aligned with their beliefs. Thoreau argues that people must take action against injustice, and even a small number of people can have a big effect. Thoreau states, "A minority is powerless while it conforms to the majority. It is not even a minority then, but it is irresistible when it clogs by its whole weight." Some flaws I noticed in Thoreau's essay could be that there is a lack of engagement with opposing views. Thoreau's essay doesn't fully cover potential counter-arguments. Addressing stronger counter-arguments would make his argument much stronger. Another thing is that we could have made his argument stronger was providing a practical application to the real world. And some fun facts is that Thoreau's idea on civil disobedience influenced people like Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King Jr., with the incorporation of nonviolent protesting and how minorities could not, or even if there are small groups of minorities who are protesting, it also challenges the majority's ethical beliefs and morality. And Thoreau created On the Duty of Civil Disobedience after spending the night in jail after refusing to pay taxes for the Mexican-American War. And this essay was based off of Thoreau's personal experiences, opinions, and ethical reasoning.